Welcome to Take It From the Top.
The singer's guide to working, thriving and surviving in the music industry.
So hit subscribe and head over to our YouTube channel where you can discuss what we're wearing in the comments and with your questions.
Not today, they can't.
No, they can't.
Hayley, my dear, shall we take it from the top?
Let's do it.
Hit the music. So we have got the wonderful Jamie Squire back with us, and we're carrying on pretty much from where we left off, except we're going to move on a little bit and talk about the thing that you are dying to hear about. So how did you first come to be on that show?
On Hayley's invitation, we were working together with Trevor Horn, and in conversation with me just sort of said, well, you'd actually probably be quite good for Strictly, maybe I'll drop your name in the hat.
Oh, at least I said it to you first.
You did.
I didn't go sneakily.
No, you
send in
you
videos
said it, and then,
today.
And I said, okay, great. Then one of those things, people say that kind of thing.
Yeah.
all the
Had you
time,
actually seen the show?
No.
Did you know anything about it?
No.
So
my wife loved the show, but I'd never watched it.
Right.
I think I knew of its existence, but it was certainly not something I'd never really watched. But at the time, I was sort of, I'll do anything. I was looking for some work or any sort of thing to just try and, again, get my foot in the door.
How long have you been doing it?
So Strictly is my 9th season, believe it or not.
This is ridiculous because in my head, he's brand new.
Yeah.
You've just joined. You're fresh.
I mean, in fairness, the first few seasons that I did, there was a floating chair.
Yeah, it was
meaning
a
that
floating chair.
Depending on what the material required, the right voice was brought in for that certain thing. But then I eventually just end up keeping that seat. But
and everyone comes in with stuff they're really comfortable in, especially with a floating chair, because you're like, oh, we've got
You're there
this
to
song
sing the
next
piece that you
week,
can
so
do.
Yeah.
we should try so and so.
What tends to happen with that as well, that I discovered, is you come in as almost like a golden boy, and everyone goes, "Oh, right, the new singer's here."
Everyone's clapping
Everyone's
for
really,
you. The band,
everyone's really
"Woohoo!
enthusiastic.
Well done, Jamie.
Cut to that season, like 9th season for me.
Like
It's
who?
just like, oh,
Literally, no one cares.
no one cares.
Okay.
Belting his face off. The first day we had him in, it's like this. I have to describe because it's a podcast. His hands are behind his head like this.
Yeah.
Feet are up on the monitor. Not leaving anything good left.
Were my hands behind my head?
You, honestly.
I think we'll get away with that because
What a
music has to
wanker.
resemble the song that it actually sounds like.
You
not.
were. I was like, oh my God, I'm so embarrassed. No, but you were so relaxed. So relaxed. And I think Connolly, what was it?
Brian Connolly, yeah.
I think he was doing it, and then he came up and he was, a proper singer. I was like, for goodness sake. No, Twitter was going mental. Strictly have finally got a singer that can sing, all that. Do you remember?
Yeah.
Because whenever someone comes in, I remember when I first joined, there were people writing in the paper about me, how brilliant I was, and you think, oh, I'm amazing. 3 series after that, like everyone's like, oh, I wish they'd get rid of her. No, but it's you
brutal.
are flavour of the month.
Yeah.
You come in doing something that you're fabulous at, and then you finally get that song. The first time that happens, when you get something that isn't you at all.
Yeah.
So let's talk about it as a gig then, because it is a gig. It's I know it's massive, but I just want to hear about your approach to things, how you actually come to learn stuff, and what's in your mind as a performer when you're doing it, ignoring the fact that God knows how many millions of people are watching it. It's a gig.
You have to ignore
it's a gig.
that bit.
You're standing in front of a microphone. In many ways, it's probably the most comfortable position for you because it's a microphone and it's music and you've got a band. So you're so used to that. But it's different somehow.
It's different because it's not about you. It is about the dancers. And it's not even necessarily about the pros, it's about the celebs. And some of them have no relationship at all with music, with dancing, with performing, although they might be presenters or, blah, 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 or reality TV stars. They've got no relationship with it. So, as I said before, when you're learning a piece, the phrasing, the delivery, you're not, it's not karaoke and it's not impression work. However, it is precise.
Yeah.
And suddenly the stress, it's different. It's different to doing any other gig. It's completely different because it's not about you. And if you mess up, you could throw them.
Yeah.
And that's the most stressful part about it.
So the creative process then, Jamie as a producer, tell us about how you go from this is the song you're doing to getting to the point where you're standing in front of a microphone on a Saturday night. What is that creative process for you?
I mean, I came in. I wouldn't have necessarily called myself a session singer at that time when I got that, which may perhaps be a frustration to session singers listening to this who have been auditioning.
You stole our job.
Yeah, and that doesn't pass me by, but I didn't have that mentality when I was coming into this. I was applying the other things that I know about music into that job.
But also from Trevor, I was already aware that your harmony work was super quick. You were quick.
Yeah.
And your ears were good. And I knew Dave.
I'm quite clinical.
Yeah. And most importantly, I knew Dave, because Dave is the one that says yes or no. And Dave has to feel comfortable. And Dave doesn't feel, at the end of the day, it's on him if we mess up as well. So he wants to look out. He looks at you, his arms up, and he wants to know your eyes are on him. Because if they're not, then he doesn't know if you're going to come in or not.
Yeah.
So even though you think, I know when I come in, I'm going to come in bar 4. Unless you've acknowledged Dave, he doesn't know that.
Yeah.
So he needs someone that's music. You have to be aware of music. You don't have to be really, really trained or anything.
But it helps.
But it helps.
Yeah.
And I knew that you had that. So Dave, you would work with Dave. So then I could put you forward to Dave and say, this is the guy.
I came in with my normal approach of, I'm just going to sing the hell out of this song. And I Believe in a Thing Called Love by The Darkness always sounds like it's a really difficult song to sing. In actual fact, it's not, because it's very much the two worlds of chest and head, and so there's a very easy jump between the two. Some of the challenge we were discussing this yesterday. Some of the challenges that I find in my voice is finding that seamless travel between the two voices.
We have the same thing there, and we both have the cutting sound that cuts through.
Yeah.
So I was pleased to have you on because you joined my side, whereas Ange and Tommy with their nice, soft, warm tones.
I know. But so I knew with that song, and that was kind of really the song I was brought in for specifically. There was a couple other things that I did on that episode. I can't quite remember what it was.
Well, I was playing Dave, you doing Sting, so maybe we thought we were going to have a police song or something.
That was another Trevor gig with Stuart Copeland. We had playing drums. Yeah,
because that's the one I sent to him.
That day.
But there would have been a reason I sent that to him. Like when Jesse was going to come on when you were on tour, and we got Jesse in because we thought we were doing Led Zeppelin, and then that song didn't come in the end, and then he came on and had to do Justin Timberlake. He hated me forever.
That would lead on easily to another thing about versatility. The requirements of being versatile for this gig is more than any other situation I've ever been in as a singer. From 1 minute it's musicals to the Muppet theme tune to
K-pop.
I'm doing Metallica, and then I'm rapping. Like, I'm not a rapper, but I have to do it.
And it's not one of those gigs that when they decide the music at the beginning of the week, they go, right, what singers have we got? Let's divide it equally.
No,
it's literally,
not about us.
Here's the music. Right, if 1 week you end up singing 90% of the music, that's how it goes.
As far as they're concerned, they have the people that are going to be able to achieve what they need to achieve.
Yeah.
So they don't think about, well, that's, that it doesn't cross their mind.
I mean, we have got Ian, who's the music producer, and he does work really hard to try and
He's
think
on our
about
side.
it. He is on our side, but it's still the show. Dave and Ian will only pull something if they think we really can't handle it, which is I wonder what on earth they're pulling out, because
I know.
the stuff they're giving us is insane.
Both of you then, what's the one piece where you've gone, oh, you're joking? Or the long list of them.
Oh, you're joking. Well, I think when there were only 4 singers and we're doing Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yeah, like Killer Queen and stuff is a monster.
We've got
It's
5
great when
singers
we get it-
now,
when we
which
get it right, but
changes the world
it does,
actually for
it
those
does.
parts. But there's also songs you think you can do and then you don't nail it. So it's not even you don't necessarily get the song and think, how am I going to do this? I don't know.
I mean, one of the biggest challenges I had was doing Highway to Hell, AC/DC. The nature of that sound, that voice, is not what I did that night. The only way I could get through it is just absolutely blowing the top off everything that I had, just to try and get up there and just try and. I mean, I think I was panting for breath after I'd finished it because I'd just leant so hard into it, sort of nursed around it throughout the day in rehearsals, and then had to just absolutely go for it for the gig. That's not the way those Brian's voice is not like that. It's actually quite
just
quiet.
Yeah.
Like I remember doing a session with Rod Stewart and I was like gobsmacked. His voice was so quiet, yet recorded, compressed, and in
Sounds
context
like-
sounds huge. You know, and I remember doing it was a backing vocal session with him, and I was sort of just sat there listening to him sing the lead down. I was like, this is incredible. And again, that thing of just learning something from being in the room with these people. So I try and take that into Strictly, but then there are absolute limitations to what your voice biologically can
that's
actually
their
do.
actual sound. That's what they sound like on every song. And you're expected as well. Like my worst night ever was having to do Defying Gravity, but also Wuthering Heights, Kate Bush.
Yeah.
I remember
So
that,
one's
actually,
like a full
Two completely different worlds.
different sound, like so, and then there's like, but and you're doing it from 8 a.m.
So that was my next thing, was going to be...
So it's not like if you're only singing in your head voice all day, you can keep that bit nice and warm, and then you come to the gig and then you're going to do it. You're jumping, your throat is tightening, it's loosening, it's this, it's that, it's belt to head to...
So
And then,
as like from a technical point of view then, so how do you stay in that place of...
being warm.
Because you are sitting there for, you know, we talked earlier about the fact that you do film the live show and then it's a good 3-hour wait until you're maybe singing the last song of the night where you've not sung at all for 3 hours, and all of a sudden you've got to recreate the thing you sang.
There's nothing you can do. There's nowhere to warm up. You're on that stage.
Yeah.
It is cold. And also you can't stay... I've gone through all... I've been there so long. I've gone through all the different ways. I've rehearsed way too much during the week, and which I'd done that week as well, because I really wanted both those songs to be amazing, and I'd over rehearsed. My voice was tired, so then I've gone to the point of not rehearsing as much during the week, but then you don't feel prepared. Then you on the day warming up in the morning before I get there, but then again, if you're warming up at 7 in the morning, your voice is tired. I've tried not warming up. I've tried all the different things, and there isn't really a correct way of doing it.
No.
Really.
And it's a tough day for you, because it's not just the songs you're singing, is it? Because you are each other's backing vocalists as well. So if there's, say, 15 songs in the show, you might be singing 4 of them as a lead vocalist. That doesn't mean that you're singing those 4. You're singing 12 because you've got a BV in the rest of them. So it really must take it out of you. So how do you get ready for those harmonies and prep?
Listening, just having the music on so you're aware of the chord progressions and stuff in your head. So at least if you don't sing the exact correct harmony that's written, you might at least be in tune. That's preferable.
Yeah,
it depends. Sometimes they're really obvious. The old school songs are easier to sing,
very much so,
because they would have been recorded 3 girls, 3 boys in a room together.
Yeah.
So I love getting, I don't know, Gladys Knight in the Pips or something. You just know it's going to work because you are literally a band and you can make that happen. When you get Destiny's Child or you get any of the modern tunes, trying to recreate that sound where you know they've just pressed go and someone's gone, oh, let's add this harmony on here. Let's do this one here. Then they're covering over
you need
each
10
other.
of us to be able to really recreate what's been recorded in modern production. And the other aspect to the harmony learning as well is that even if it is a classic song, the version that we might be doing could be completely different, and we might be really familiar with the old version. We have to unlearn that version to learn it. So sometimes, even if it's an edit of the actual song,
that's even worse.
I can't go and listen to the actual song because then it messes with my head. I've got to listen to this minute 20 version that we've got to stick to.
You think you know a Prince song, and then you're doing the version from Sing.
Yeah,
Of course, yeah.
it is a bizarre thing, you know. It feels very unmusical at times. If you feel like a music by numbers in a way.
Because they are really regimented arrangements, aren't they? They are
They're
not
so specific.
Yeah, it's not like you're.
There's no interpretation.
No.
So talk a little bit about how difficult it is then to work with that as a singer approaching a piece where there is no freedom.
If you're, for example, if you're on stage and you're with an orchestra and there's a conductor, maybe you would be singing, the conductor would be following you and then directing the orchestra. That's how it would usually work. Or if you're with a live band and you improvise a line, or if you do a little ooh on the side or something, it just happens naturally, doesn't it, when you're singing?
Yeah.
You're working with the band, you're seeing where the gaps are. It's almost a conversation between an instrumentalist and a vocalist, right? That doesn't happen on Strictly because the dancers have choreographed, as we've said a gazillion times, and it's very specific to the edit that we're given.
Yeah.
So it could be something that's going in and out of time at the beginning, and it's mapped to a click. So they'll put the track up, they'll click, and then Dave wants you to come in exactly as the dancers do as well. They really want that flow to sound natural, but it's impossible to sound natural sometimes.
We pull it off because we've done it enough to know how, you know, sort of the little tricks and things that we can learn how to ourselves dance around it.
Yeah.
But ultimately, it feels, until you can sort of get into the song, the entrance, or there's the particular bit that they've got to hit because they've done some particular move, feels so unnatural. It feels so restricting.
Yeah.
You know,
But I have to say, it's actually one of my favourite things to do, though, is like if I get a show tune and you know it's swimming in and out.
Yeah.
Because then I can really breathe, and then I go, and then it's fast, and then it's in, and then it's out. Like, I love it. I get really excited. Like, Andrea doesn't like those. She hates it. She's like, I can't do the phrasing. I don't want to do it. Like, oh, it's so unnatural. But I get excited about that.
Yeah.
And I like the tight harmony stuff as well.
Yeah,
I get really excited about that stuff.
Because whatever you did this week, like
Boom,
almost
boom,
sort
yeah.
of
Was it Boom?
Andrew Sisters type
Yes.
close harmony.
But they wanted it to sound like a synth.
Yeah.
So it's like, da, da, ba, da, ba, da, da. And you are thinking like that.
It's just because it's that to me is complete, because my thinking is always straight on and thinking through the line, thinking where you're going next. I'm doing that, and I know it's a podcast, but you know, I'm thinking
He's swimming with his hands,
you
ladies
are,
and
but
gents.
it's not analysing harmony, absolutely straight down the line, going through it and going, what am I doing here? But actually singing it, creating it, you are driving forwards the whole time. So to think, to stick it on a different trajectory is...
But also how Dave would arrange it, like you would come at it thinking, oh, these are the chords, so this is where the harmony will go.
Yeah.
Dave listens to the record and he writes down exactly what is on it. So sometimes the line might be really unnatural because they will have layered it, the harmonies, as they're recording it.
Or, you know, if it's a throwaway hey or an oh, Dave hears that in pitch.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
So he'll notate it.
Wow,
It's literally written.
Yeah.
I remember we did one tune where there's a rapper that says Red One, right? And I just hear Red One, right? That's all I hear. Dave, I remember with Lance, he was like, no, it's Red One. So and then poor Lance is like, Red One, like, but it doesn't sound like that to me on the record.
No.
Someone's just saying it.
Yeah.
But Dave hears everything in pitch. Like he's trying to rehearse this, and sometimes you get the cherry picker coming out going,
Yeah.
and he's
To
like,
fix a light,
I can't. It's a wrong note.
But that's a skill that, I mean, what a brain.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
it's
What an ear.
phenomenal. Yeah.
I mean,
He is phenomenal.
I've quizzed him about that a few times, and said, does the sound of the fridge drive you crazy? And he's learnt to
Ignore
not
it.
to not be too bothered by it. But it must be
Yeah.
a burden at times.
Yeah.
So the one thing that always strikes me as interesting to watch on Strictly is the audience's ability to absolutely not clap in time.
Can we just talk about this, please? Right.
Carry on.
Firstly, not just the
Discuss.
audience and singers, 2 and 4.
Yeah.
2 and 4. What's going on? I mean, Americans can do it.
Build me up,
Oh,
buttercup? It's like, what on earth are you doing?
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't understand it. And then the clapping throughout. I mean, I know they have to, but when you're trying to sing and you've got these click and Dave's waggling his hands at you, like you're trying so hard to stay in time. And then when the audience start clapping and going, and then that's feeding into your mic as well. So it's going
The
into your
mix that you've
ears.
created through the day changes completely
Yeah.
when the audience
Of course
comes
it
in.
does. Yeah.
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 And you just have to deal with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Deal with it.
Even if you've done, how many seasons have you done now?
I don't know. Don't be offensive.
What year did it start?
I've done 9, and even now, that the red light thing,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and I think I could be so comfortable the moment I go, it starts, I'm like, well, it's live or die.
Yeah.
I've
Yeah.
really no idea how this is going to go.
I forget the line. I'm like, I don't know what I'm singing.
Yeah.
I've got no idea what this song is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it happens.
Yeah.
Actually, is that just normal though?
Could be.
I do that.
Could
I
be.
do that all the time.
Yeah.
From like conducting in the pit, you sit there and you just go, what is next?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
And you've done it 20 times.
Yeah.
But you still
We've done it 3 times.
Yeah, no. I mean, there'll be lots of people listening to this podcast that I'm sure are going, well, you know, they're just singing songs.
Yeah.
It's just
I
a gig.
Yeah.
But there's, without sounding like a moany, bastard, there's more to it
Yeah,
than that.
of course
There
there is.
really
Yeah.
is.
There's way more layers to what we're trying to do on that show.
Yeah.
I think there should be therapy specifically for musicians and singers that have worked on the show.
Well, we tend to sort of, philosophize the whole thing throughout the day, don't we? I think that is a
Yeah.
kind of therapy in a way.
It is.
It's a way of just understanding and getting through it.
And you only know if you've done it.
Yeah.
I'm just going to pick up on something you just said.
You're out of order. What are you going to say?
I love the way, because if I said to you, musicians and singers, I know so many singers that would go, oh, well, thanks very much, we're musicians.
No, singers aren't musicians. Not always. There's a few, but I don't think it is the same thing. I'm not being offensive, and also, because there's this thing that again upsets me: the keys of songs, right? So Dave will be like, "Well, we can't because that's an open string guitar sound." And I'm like, you have a capo. I know it's a different thing. I know it changes the sound. I really understand that. And especially for Dave's ears, I understand it. But when the audience are sat at home, they're not like, oh, they've capoed that guitar. They're like, that song's too high for the singers. Right. So we have to take the brunt. Am I right, though?
Oh,
sorry,
we
do
get
I sound...
slaughtered.
No, I'm just loving
Weekend.
this.
No, I'm sorry.
Week in, week out, we do. And when that first started happening to me, I was kind of like, do I want to continue in this environment? I don't know if I'm okay with that. Now it's fine because I understand what they're doing, because we're singing potentially someone's favourite song.
Exactly, of course
it might
we
be
are.
their
It's their
wedding
life,
song,
yeah.
and then we have to do.
We ruin it. We ruin their
this
favourite
bizarre
song.
version of it, this karaoke version of it, but we have to stick to that because that's what the guys have rehearsed their routine to. So
But
I
that
can see
doesn't-
why
yeah.
they would dislike what we're doing, but at the same time, I agree. It's like give us the best chance to achieve it.
Yes. However, that doesn't mean that the musicians feel that pressure, because again, for them, they've got to nail those parts in a really short space of time. And if they miss an A, to them, that's just as devastating as if we miss a note or if we crack or, it is the same feeling. I'm just saying it's not as spotlighted, and unfortunately, there is that ego thing we were discussing, that singers do have to have a bit of an ego and a bit of confidence in order to carry. We're exposed.
You're so exposed.
That's the problem.
Even though you can't see you, you are so exposed.
That makes it worse. I think if you can see somebody, you hear differently because you're seeing them physically delivering.
Not only are we exposed internally within the show itself, we're exposed across the whole television industry because there aren't any other live bands on TV.
No.
And if there are, it's all pre-recorded. If there are live vocals, it's all tuned.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, and we're kind of I suppose, purists in a way.
Dave's a purist. He likes it. He doesn't want anything tuned or pre-recorded.
And I'm fine with that. Yeah. But then going back to the internally, so there's a VT before we launch into a song.
Play a perfect record.
Yeah, that's all fixed and tuned. Mm-hmm. It might even in some cases been the same song.
Oh, so annoying.
And then we have to go in, and so you kind of want to go, well, what do you expect?
Yeah.
What do you think we're going to be able to do with this? You know.
And people are used to hearing perfection,
we have to do
though.
It.
The audience are used to hearing perfection.
Yeah.
Even from their favourite artists on tour. Even with a live band, they've still got loads on track.
Yeah.
On tours nowadays. To fill out that sound, that wall of sound.
Well, even the writers and the singers of the original songs, I've been on festival stages, massive festivals around the world. I've watched them do it, and they can't even do it. Not naming any names, but they can't even sing their own songs live. But we have to.
Yes. Yeah.
You know, and it's not. It makes me sound like I'm such a negative Nancy, and but the reality is that, and we will always pull it out of the bag because we have to, and it's kind of that resilience that you have to have built up. But ultimately, it's almost an impossible task at
Freddie
times.
Mercury is probably one of the best vocalists that has ever existed
Yeah.
on the earth,
Incredible.
ever. There are times on stage he's handed that mic over.
Of
He's done the
course.
Robbie Williams.
Of course,
He doesn't go for that note because it's just not the day
Because
for
he's
it.
human.
Because he's human, because of the humidity, because of the blah, 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 whatever the reason is. We're not all Cynthia Erivo. She's very good, isn't she?
Is.
I mean,
She's very, very good.
She is very good. It won't be long before you're having to do a bit of Wicked again.
No,
'cause it's
never again.
popular.
Not for me. I did Popular.
No, as in
And they
because
did-
it's popular, not because of the
I did
song.
Popular last year, and it was maybe triple the speed.
Oh, really?
Triple the speed. Yeah, they made it into a quick step, didn't they?
Okay.
yeah.
Wow.
Awful.
I did a little gig with Cynthia.
Did you?
Actually, years ago at the Hippodrome in Leicester Square. It was a little charity event with a friend of mine, Richard Fleischman. I don't know if you know Richard.
I know
He's
that,
been in the West End for a long
Yes.
time. Great actor, really close friend of mine. And him and I were raising money. We went and climbed Kilimanjaro and we were raising money. And he put on this evening at the Hippodrome, raised money. And Cynthia was, she was, I suppose, relatively unknown at that point. She was in the West End. I can't remember what the show she was on. But I remember hearing her sing then and thought, Jesus
She's
fucking
never
Christ, who is
level.
this?
Yeah.
Like just that unwavering natural ability.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was like,
It's
okay.
stunning. It's
And then it didn't
absolutely
surprise me at all that a couple of years later she was just now
Massive.
mega star.
Yeah.
Yeah, amazing.
Rightfully
Stunning.
so.
Stunning.
I want to chuck something at you
Oh,
guys
God.
quickly.
Yeah. Go.
So obviously we're talking about all the different styles we have to do. So we have to jump from the pop sound to the rock sound. So the classical sound, I know that when we do classical, all the classical singers in the world are vomiting at home at our lack of technique. And we were talking about this because you were like, oh, I really hope we get another West Side Story vibes. And I'm like, I do because I love it. Listen, and you
I
know,
like to challenge myself a bit.
you've got Carousel sat there. You know, it's one of my favourite of all time.
It's what's inked on my arm.
very
That's
good.
Carousel.
I love it so
know.
much. But do I actually want to sing it in public? And so what I was going to say is you've heard Jamie's voice on television. You know his sound, right?
Yep.
You know where he's placing it, I'm guessing, right? So if Jamie wanted to achieve a more classical sound for a piece, just because you were talking about how wanting to challenge yourself, where would he move his placement to? Because you naturally, obviously, straight away go for it.
Yeah. So for me, it's vowel adjustment is my main thing. It's real pure vowels because it's that speech quality that you get with modern singing just tends to squeeze the vowels a little bit more than I would open them all up. And I guess it's the difference between if I loved you and if I loved you. So the space at the back of the throat and that lengthening of the larynx just to create that longer sound for a classical singer.
A deeper sound rather than do you resonate in the nose and drop the jaw? Or?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, because classical singing the sound is produced here.
They can't see where here is.
Oh, they can't, can they? Sorry, it's a podcast. Is all head, throat. the whole head chest thing is not massively an issue for most classical singers. It's all head, it's all power.
Yeah.
That those sort of the folds just opened up, and resonance and vowels. That was a very long-winded way of.
No, it's interesting. So even say the sentence. So say, if I loved you, like how I've just said it, everything's placed here, right?
Yeah.
If.
This is why I don't lose my voice very often, because I talk in my nose rather than on my throat or on my chest.
Yeah.
Whereas I'm very here. In throat, it's very sort of gravelly, and if I.
Yes.
Rather than.
See, it sounds full straight away, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Because it's in that space. When I'm teaching, I always say to people, it's like you've got an orange, and you've put it in your mouth whole, and it's got stuck in your throat. You've got it out, and that gap that it was in is still there.
Okay, interesting.
I like.
So
I'm going to steal
got
that one.
lovely space in the back where all that sort of all you're doing is creating yourself that lovely acoustic in your own throat.
Yes. A space for the sound
to roll, and then when it comes out, you've got that lovely sort of big classical sound.
And do you keep the belly out throughout?
Yeah.
Rather than collapsing.
Oh yeah. It's all sort of the other thing I teach when I'm teaching boys particularly is I'm going to punch you in the stomach. What do you do? And immediately they tense up, and you go, right, keep that intensity in the stomach when you're really pushing. Is that those same muscles that you would engage if you're about to be punched in the stomach are the ones that you then go, right, I'm going to engage those, I'm going to ground down, and then that's when the sound comes out.
Oh, I can hear that straight. Did you hear that? That was so powerful.
But it was. What I love about classical singers is sometimes you meet classical singers and you just go, I can tell you're a singer by the way you speak, because there's that sort of in the voice. Because the one thing I'm not very good at, I can't do, is that sort of pop stuff. When George Ezra started singing, I was like, thank God, there's someone who actually sounds a bit
with
more
depth
like that. I would sing something pop based. So you go, thank you, George, for actually singing something that I could do that. But put me in something like, get me to sing Queen, and I just sound like some tit that's sort of. But
do you know what? Again, that brings us back actually to the beginning of the whole of this conversation is finding yourself and creating your own sound.
Yeah.
Like, why is it that pop has to sound like this? Classical has to sound like that? Yeah. And Tommy always says this, because Tommy always sounds like Tommy when he sings on the show, right?
Does,
Tommy and he says to me, because I'm like, I don't know how to place this. I don't know how I'm going to sing it. I don't know what I'm going to do. And he goes, it's just a song.
Yeah.
It's just a song. Just sing it.
But
he's right.
Yeah, he is.
They're beautiful melodies.
Yeah.
Either way, like, find your sound. Kate Bush, she found her sound. She didn't come out trying to sing like
but
Lulu or
no, but you look at the whole of musical theatre. You look from kind of 1920s through to modern day, and you've got really classical going into sort of legit.
Yeah.
And I always say to people, there's a reason they call it legit. And then into this kind of modern, and then into now you've got things like Dear Evan Hansen, which are so pop heavy, and there's almost now musical theatre performers that are boxed into, they can only do that, they can only do that.
Well, actually, Nat, who we've now got on the show, she always says to me, she went, oh, no, you should do that because that's legit singing. I don't do that. Because she was in Six. So she's like, and she sounds amazing at that stuff, whereas that stuff makes me feel physically ill to even attempt to sing.
But you
not
do,
because it's not great.
You say that, but you do it beautifully. You do. You know you do it beautifully. I messaged you years ago after you'd done Carousel or Sound of Music or something really classical. And I was like, fuck me, that was brilliant.
Yeah, but I had classical singing lessons when I was younger.
True.
The only problem is I haven't done it since then. And then Dave just goes, can you do this one next week?
Mio Bubba,
Yes.
Carol.
And I went, yeah, sure. And then I went home and I went, what have I said? What am I doing?
And I think sometimes with singing legit and classical stuff, you can overthink it.
Oh yeah,
to the point where
you
go, actually, it's all about the technique, and actually, it's all about the sound and the artistry. It's just a piece of music. It's what Tommy says. It's just a
Tommy's
song.
right.
Yeah. Sing it.
Yeah,
sing
it's
it.
Just a song.
Well, I never had any formal training. In fact, my dad didn't either. I remember asking him years ago, listening to because he made a record, and I've got old recordings of him singing when he was young and everything. And I remember asking him, how did you learn how to do the change of speed of your vibrato? And he went, What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Didn't know.
No,
But the best part of it was he didn't care to know.
no.
He wasn't. He's not interested, and that's fascinating to me.
And I find that a really difficult thing to teach as well. When
Yeah.
people say, "Oh, no, can you teach me vibrato?" And you go, "I'm not sure I can."
Yeah, it's a strange one.
I can teach you technical. I can't teach you how to do it.
I think if your breath control is there, it should.
It's
and
a natural
If everything's
response.
working properly, it should happen naturally.
Because you often see, and I with singers, I say to them, "Look, watch an orchestra and watch the violin section, because what they do with their wrist when they do their vibrato is always, it just looks so natural, because they're just feeling it and going, this is what it needs that vibrato." And you watch their wrists and their fingers attack that vibrato, and it's so natural, and it just comes. And I say the same to singers: don't force it. It's not something that you can learn and you go, right, I'm going to switch it on and put it in here. You know, you get lots bits where you say, right, give me a lovely long, and then just wobble at the end, and you shouldn't give that sort of and you go attack it. But other than that, you just go, just let it happen.
Yeah.
Let it be a thing.
Yeah.
You know,
Find your thing.
find your thing. That's about the third time we've sort of come to the end
Well,
of
I
an
think
episode
that's
with
what it
find your
comes
thing.
to, isn't it? There's no
Yeah.
rules. I think every episode we've finished with, there are no rules. There is
rules.
no specific way to do something.
Perhaps we should have called it that.
There is no point
There are
of
no
this
rules.
podcast.
We literally have. So that's it. That's the last ever episode. There's nothing else we can say.
We sorted it, guys. It's all
We
done.
did, exactly. So we've been waved at, so we're going to wrap up our episode. So we're going to do that just by thanking Jamie for coming and talking to us. It's
Thank
been
you so
amazing.
much.
Very welcome.
Really appreciate your time.
We do. And just natural chatting was what we love.
It
just,
is.
you know, comes...
And we could talk for hours, actually.
We could.
But we haven't got
You know,
all day.
say so
darling.
much more. We may do. There's other opportunities.
There are always
So-
other opportunities.
But yeah, but thank you so much
You're
for
very, very
joining
welcome.
us.
Thank
And that's it from us again.
It
so
is.
like and subscribe and click for notifications for new episodes, so you'll never miss us when we
Take it from the top.
one job.
When
Hayley.
there are no rules.